everyone seems to enjoy us chatting for some reason, and it'll continue throughout the season. So let's give them more with podcast number 4, Ollie. Welcome. How you doing, mate?
Very, very nice intro. I love that. That's what we need more of. That's the top quality content that people are obviously coming for. It's all about cool intros. That's what we need. I'm doing well. We had, difficult couple of weeks, but generally speaking, all doing fine now. So that's what's good. How are you doing? How's Louis and everyone?
Yes, very good, mate. I said this to Ollie off air. Apologies because this is not going to be an hour long, or I hope it's not going to be an hour long anyway, because I will get shouted at because my little boy's been a little sod today. So I think my wife's currently making tea for us. It's Sunday evening when we're recording this, and he's going to be round her feet going, pick me up.
That's normally what you do.
Yeah, that's normally what I do. Yeah, can't help it. I'm just all for the attention, as you already know, mate.
Yeah, I've always thought that, to be honest. That's the crux of the relationship, so that's fine.
Exactly. So, what have you been up to today, then?
So I dragged my hungover self out to a football tournament, a charity one in aid of raising money for the Children's Hospital. I can't remember who was running it, otherwise I would shout them out, but it was at Oliver's Mount at Handsworth. And yeah, my team were rubbish. We got kicked out immediately, but that was for the best, so I could come back home and go to sleep, because you woke me up to do this podcast.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Well, to make us sound good as well, I did the 5 press-up challenge for motor neuron disease. I keep saying I can't say it. I'm struggling.
Motor neuron disease?
Yeah, that disease that's bad. There's not many diseases that are good, to be fair. So, but that one's bad. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. The thing is, I said to Ollie before we started this, I don't want any editing to have to do, and then it's me talking about, I don't know what's staying and what isn't, to be honest, but let's move on. So yeah, I did the 5 press-up challenge and nominated.
Yeah, I did get that notification as I was mid-nap in a haze, and I thought, it's fine, I'll just be dreaming this. But no, a challenge has been laid down, so I'll have to answer that at some point, and you'll all get the glory of watching me really, really struggle through 5 really weak press-ups before then being unable to speak to nominate anybody else.
Did you see the video that I did, or did you not get?
I've not seen it yet. I was going to watch it, and then you rushed me into this instead.
Yeah, I'm sorry, mate. Yeah, so I was kind of laid on my stomach recording it because I was just about to do the press up. So I'm gonna edit it, but I'm like, I ain't got time. Let's just put it up as it is. So I laid it down. I was on upstairs on the landing, just laid on my stomach. And as I was talking, I couldn't take any air in. So as I was talking more and more, I'm like, I've not even done any press ups yet. So
yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to be like. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be fun, but it is going to get done, and that's what's important. It's all about raising money, innit?
Exactly, mate. Exactly. And then you gotta give £5 to end motor neuron disease. I did it. I said it right. That's fantastic. So what are we going to talk about first, Ollie? It's probably one of the most underprepared podcasts I've ever put you through. So first and foremost, what I want to talk about first, actually, is the last podcast that we did. We got interrupted. And I just wanted to explain what the interruption was, because then I've got another thing to talk about after that. So the interruption was Hal jumping in the stream and saying, Prince Abdullah wants a chat. And I had to edit a bit out because it sounded like we were big time Charlies.
It did. Well, it sounded like you. Let's be clear. It sounded like you were big time Charlies, because not everybody was invited to the Prince Abdullah chat, were they, Nick?
So anyway, it was actually the Prince, Darren Smith, me and Hal. So the Prince wanted to tell us, kind of keep us in the loop on players that we're interested in, which was very exciting, which most of these have now come out. So the left wing back from Troyes, looks like he's going to be signing tomorrow or today even. I don't know when's this going out, tomorrow. So yeah, he's either signed by now or he's getting signed the day of this podcast.
Yeah.
Also, Traore as well. I think that was one from really, really early on. It's looking like
Yeah.
he's going to be signing in the next few days too.
I like that.
Obviously, Slimani as well. That one's gone through. We'll talk about that in a little bit. There was another few players that he mentioned. One which was Attila Slazai or something like that, right?
Saloy, I think it's pronounced, but yeah,
Saloy.
I
Oh,
think that's how you pronounce it, isn't it?
oh,
Yeah,
I like.
I might be
That's
wrong,
good.
but they had a big
No,
lad as
that's
well up
fine.
front who had the same name.
Better than what I went for anyway. That was one of the names that I didn't want to discuss just in case it came back around, but then it got spoken about on another YouTube channel and it
Yeah.
got posted all over Twitter. So we're like, we might as well talk about it now because the thing is, the Prince tells he tells us a load of stuff, and then we say, what can we actually talk about? And then he tells us what we can actually talk about. And more often than not, 90% of it we're not allowed to talk about, which I think that just shows that the Prince doesn't want us kind of pushing out anything and everything that he says. The only things that he lets us talk about are things that aren't really going to affect anything. And that's how I want it to be, because I don't want to stop Sheffield United from signing somebody. Like,
No.
that's not what I want to do. If it's between us signing someone and us getting an exclusive, I'd much rather us get I'd much I'd much rather us sign the player. I would. So
I enjoyed that.
I thought you were right. And then a few days later, when ILIMAN NDIAYE, it was all out there saying that he was leaving, he's left the building, his wife's selling everything in his house, which was a bit crazy. And I don't think she really realised what she was doing at the time. And ILIMAN might have had a word with her after that, because he's on Twitter just as well as everybody else is. So he must have seen things like that. But yeah, so the Prince wanted to come on and say Illiman's not had any contact with Marseille at all. Again, this is a few days ago. I didn't want to say anything because I don't want the Prince might not necessarily want us putting these things like this out. But one of the funny things was myself and Hal. Well, Hal did the video of was it Slimani? No, it was Illiman. It was talking about Illiman. Whether he was leaving or not, and things like of that nature. And the Prince saw that we were doing a video that said ILIMAN NDIAYE leaving, and then he was like, "Can we have a chat?" And he sent the message bang at lunchtime, 12 o'clock, and I was in the stream with Hal. And I said, Hal pressed the button to start the recording, the live recording. I don't think you know about this, Ollie.
No, I
And
don't.
as he clicked it, I started talking. He didn't tell me that we were live. I started talking. I said, "Have you just seen the Prince's message?" And Hal says, "No, I haven't." I'm like, "We can't stop now. We need to go live because we're just about to go live." And he's like, "Yeah, we're live." And I'm like, "What?" Anyway, so Hal starts the video, goes all the way through. And then at the end, I said to Hal, "Did you start that stream when I was talking?" And he's like, "Oh, I didn't know you were talking." So I then watched it back, and the first 25 seconds was me saying, "Oh, the Prince has sent a message, blah, 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 blah." And then Hal got loads of messages saying, "What did the Prince say then? What did the Prince say?" So do you know what, Ollie?
What did
It's
the
been,
Prince say?
oh no, it was about Ndai not having any sort of contact with Marseille at that point. So he's like, I don't know where this has come from, but everyone's talking about something and nothing's happened. So I'm only bringing this up because everything's been spoken about already. Everything that I've just said that the Prince said is already out there in the open. Like I said, there's a couple of other bits and bobs that we don't want to say, but yeah, mostly it's out there. And it's been really stressful, to be honest, mate, because I don't like being ITK, as they say, in the know, because it's just stressful. You don't know what to say. You don't know who to say. And I don't say anything to anyone. I don't even tell my dad. And like, my dad tells me everything. So yeah, it's quite stressful. We're not massively in the know. It's only every now and then where we get told an odd snippet, or we have a big conversation like one time, and then we'll not have too much for a while. So yeah, it's fun. Don't get me wrong, but it's also stressful at the same time. But obviously lots of things are happening at the moment, and that's the reason why it's fun. So like signings are coming in. Hopefully, we're going to be able to keep everybody at bay, not talking about Illiman, not talking about Sander, because both of them played against Chesterfield, as you
Mm.
know, because you went to the game.
I did indeed, yeah. I had a great time yesterday. Just managed to get myself over to. It's not called. Is it called the Pro Act anymore? They changed the name.
No, it's called the Technique Stadium.
Oh, I got myself over to Le Technique, where we played. I don't know. I can't pronounce Chesterfield in a French accent, and it sounds wrong anyway. But no, I thought, to be honest, it was a nice run around. It was one of them games where you could tell it was the first game of preseason. I think everybody who watched it, anybody who watched it at home, I know you got the stream on. Like, you could tell it. Like, first off, in particular, you knew it was the first game of preseason, albeit that we had like some of the kids on, and it weren't quite the proper team. And then you can see how it's just a completely different level when you put players like Sander and Illiman and Ollie McBurney on, and you just think, oh, it is this easy. Okay, that's fine. I was worried. I thought, like, are we rubbish? Is that what's happening? Oh no, it turns out we just weren't playing the first team, and it's easy, really, really easy. But no, it was a good day. I enjoyed it. Went with my dad, and yeah, just had a nice time. Got a pie. You know, that's what matters. Apparently, the pies at Chesterfield are legendary, and by legendary they mean decent crust, but absolutely no filling whatsoever.
Oh no.
I
Do you know
know,
what?
honestly.
I'm not a massive pie man myself, but when there's too much crust and not enough filling, I'd rather have more filling than crust, to be honest.
You always need more filling than crust. But what it was is, there wasn't too much crust. The crust was the perfectly fine crust for a self-sustaining pie. And yes, welcome to the Great British Bake Off podcast with myself and in good Nick. So the crust was absolutely fine. But inside, there were two chunks of chicken and then like veg gravy, which made up the balti of the pie. And it was just a bit like, well, give me some filling. I paid £5 for this bloody pie. That's the word I'm going to use. I paid £5 for this bloody pie. Can I have some filling, please? Where's the rest of it? Well, yeah, I'll not make that mistake again next time I'm there. But no, it was a good day. I did enjoy it, and it was a decent game. Passed the time on. It's nice to watch United again. Just nice to watch football
It
again.
passed the
To be
time.
honest,
It passed
passed
the
the time.
time. First game of the season. First game of pre-season for the Premier League season. And you're saying,
It
pass the
passed the
time?
time. Passed the time.
Yeah.
It did. It passed the time.
And ILIMAN NDIAYE was in Chesterfield, not in Marseille. That is what we want to see. And I love the fact that the club straight away posted a picture of him. And it's like, that has taken away any of the doubt. Because for me, if ILIMAN NDIAYE was not there,
He was
it
gone.
would have. Well, no, I don't know specifically, because he's obviously going to be looking at our contract that we've offered him. I don't know if Marseille have been in touch since, but he's going to be weighing up his options right now, because if he wants to force a move to wherever, he probably can, because he's that good. Last year of his contract, he's worth a lot more than what anybody would be paying for him right now. But if he's playing in a game that means absolutely nothing against Cheze, a National League side, that means to me that he is not going anywhere for the foreseeable. However,
Yeah.
you never know. Football
No,
changes so quickly.
football changes all the time, but I read it to be exactly the same, you know. And the reception he got from the United fans was absolutely incredible as well. Like, every time when he first came out to warm up, all the fans going mad for him. When he scores, all the fans going mad for him. That has got to feel incredible. And hopefully that's the kind of thing that's going to convince him, you know what, sign the contract. It is the best contract Sheffield United will ever offer a footballer. Sign it and just stay with us for 12 more months, because he makes such a difference. Like, that's the only way we score goals, because ILIMAN NDIAYE is there. That it has been that way for 12 months. He's just a massive difference maker. So I feel positive after yesterday. I feel a lot more positive, because I was resigning myself to the, well, you know, it was nice to have him while we had him. Whereas now I'm like, he's going to stay and he's going to keep us
Well,
up.
the silly thing is, I was hearing all these things about Illiman's not spoken to Marseille. He's not spoken to Marseille. But there were that many reports saying that it was signed, sealed, and delivered. It's like, you can't just ignore those. So I don't know what's going on in the world of reporting, but that same. Like, I don't think
When
he's
like
going.
when Fab Romano's doing it and he's got his like, here we go, and you just think like he gets it right normally. Like, when he's reporting stuff, you think, yeah. that's true, because usually it is. And so it seems as though everybody's got it wrong, because I don't think you play at Chesterfield if you're not staying with United. I don't think Ollie McBurney goes out on Twitter afterwards and says, "Looking forward to the season ahead, bro," at ILIMAN. I don't think you do that
Oh,
if they're not staying. He's staying, right?
if he leaves after Ollie Macker said that, I'd. I would be speechless. I really would, because that was like a signal of he's not going anywhere. But
That were to the fans. That was a he's staying with
I
us.
know. Yeah, I know. One thing I want to say about Ollie, now you've brought him up, Ollie McBurney, that is, not Beastly Ollie, is that I didn't give him the correct praise. I didn't give him any praise for Illiman's goal, because my stream was that bad that I didn't even see that Ollie McBurney did a little step over, a little dummy for
Lovely
Illiman to
little
go
dummy.
through. I thought the player who was marking Illiman jumped in, and Illiman just like kind of held him off, because it was that bad. I could see a player like fly out, and that was obviously him following McBurney, and then Illiman's in on goal. And the thing was as well, because of that, Ollie McBurney was on his left shoulder, and Illiman's got such amazing awareness that I thought he was just going to pop it to the side and let Ollie just pass the ball
Yeah,
into the
I
back of
did.
the net.
I thought that's what he was
And
doing.
especially how he kind of went through. And normally a player, when they're going through like that, will make the decision up early and then take a step, kind of a step back and hit the ball. And he just kind of like waited and waited and waited. But we all know how good he is and how confident he is.
Game Ips, didn't
Hey,
he?
take that, whatever
Yeah.
your name is. No idea. No
I don't
idea
know
at
either.
all. It's bad, that. But saying that, I was just trying to think of an old Chesterfield goalkeeper to say as a joke. Couldn't think of one.
Oh, that's bad, isn't it?
I know, it is bad. Especially that we
Do you
played them
remember, do
so
you
many
remember when they
times in
finished
League
above
One.
us? Do you remember when they
Yeah.
actually, like, the season before Wilder, when they were, like, above us in League One? That was
Yeah.
mad, weren't it? What a
It
weird
was, and the
time.
fact that we've gone like that.
Unfortunately, I'm fairly confident that Callum Burton played for them on loan one year, but I don't think that's the name anybody's going to try and pull out.
Who the hell is Callum Burton?
Well, exactly. Callum Burton, I think, is at Hull. But anyway, I'm fairly confident that from Football Manager, at one point, he was on loan at Chesterfield for a season. Back
Makes sense.
2021, maybe 19.
Fair enough.
One of them.
Fair enough. One thing I'll give a shout out to for the Chelsea game is when we were watching the stream, for a second I looked down at my phone and my missus went, "Isn't that guy that you know, that James?" And I'm like, "Who's James?" Like, there's so many Jameses in the world. And like, so many James. I'm like, "James who?" It's like, "Oh, that guy who did Fans React." I'm like, "Oh, James Cheatham."
Yeah.
And I messaged him and said, "Oh, my missus says she's just seen you," and he didn't know at that point, but I'm pretty sure he got papped.
Yeah, I think he did as well. Yeah, because he was behind the goal as well, so he got a perfect spot. I was on the other side, so I was on the east stand, like right on the halfway line. So I got a great view, but I was never going to get papped sat there. But whereas James, and also James, you know what I mean?
Good looking specimen.
James. You know what I mean? He works, hilariously works with me randomly. I didn't know that. We did Fans React together for ages, and then one day we bumped into each other in the office, and we're like, "Oh, you're here." He was supposed to do a presentation for my team last week, and his computer died. Couldn't do it. He had to cancel. And I immediately to the rest of the team were like, "Who's this joker that you've brought in?"
Brilliant. Oh, absolutely excellent. Let's talk about the new kit, shall we? What do you make of it?
Do you know what? I was in the minority when I first saw it, because I weren't sold, because I don't like that collar, because it's a V-neck collar that doesn't have a V, and it stops dead, and then there's a gap, and I hate that. I thought, ugh, what have they done with this bloody collar? When I saw them walk out in this shirt yesterday, I was like, "Oh God, that's a nice shirt." I was like, "Get me this shirt." Oh, I tell you what, I'm glad it's not got a V-neck. I just think it's lovely. Obviously, make or break. You said this yourself on the fantastic video you did earlier this week about whether or not it's going to be made or broke by the sponsor.
Well, it's going to have Ramsden's currency on it in big green writing.
Yeah, but I just think it's a lovely shirt. I do like it. I love that goalkeeper shirt as well. Like, I feel as though
Mm.
it's mean to the kit man or to whoever's going to wash it, because you know what I mean. A white goalie shirt does feel like you're deliberately making somebody's life harder.
Keepers don't. That's the thing as well. You don't see many white goalkeeper kits, do you?
Never. Well, that's what. Surely that's why. It's like you can't wear white if you're in net because one
Possibly.
dive and you've ruined a beautiful shirt.
Do you think that the goalkeepers ever wear kits more than once, though? Because that might be a thing. So if they get a brand new kit off the shelf every single time, then it doesn't really matter, does it?
No, don't matter at all. In my head, you have one shirt for the season, and you just have it clean. You wear the same shirt. But
This
now
is
that you've
not the
pointed it out,
70s, Ollie.
that's not what happens, is it? I just,
No, I'm assuming not. I,
but
don't get me
you see, I
wrong,
couldn't do that. I could imagine if you played well and won. I'd be like, that shirt, I'm wearing it again and again
but
and
they
again.
might do. They might do.
Next time you've got a player pod, ask them that. I think we need
Yeah,
to get to the heart of the important questions on Sheff United Way. And what we need to
yeah.
know is, do you have one shirt for the season or do you get a new one every week? That's what we need to know. It's what I need to know, just for my own sort of well-being.
Well-being. Like, you are not going to be okay if you don't find that out.
No, I have to know the answer, and I have to know it. I have to know it now.
With me with the kit, I know I've obviously done that video, and I was going to come on to something, and I'm glad you just said that because I was going to ask you if you'd watched the video. But I think since I've recorded that video, I like it more and more and more, and I think that
Yeah,
kind of happens. And I think when we see it in real life, I think I'll be like, do you know what? Yes,
it was
I'm a big fan.
honestly so nice.
We just
It,
we just need to see the sponsor. We don't know what it is.
yeah, and I'm trying to think of like it just needs to be something that fits, preferably not bright green. But we'll find out and see what it looks like. I still think it'll be nice. I still think it'll be a nice shirt. I might see if you can get them on sale before the sponsor goes on, so I can quickly get one in while it still looks lovely.
Do you mean in the Far East?
Yeah, well, I just
Because
mean just generally
that's what they
speaking.
are right now. They're selling them on
Yeah,
DHgate for like
yeah.
15, 20 quid or something like that. And they can't have the sponsor on because they don't know what the sponsor is.
Because nobody knows what the sponsor is.
Did you find that really weird, though? I know I mentioned it in the video. Did you find that really weird that knockoff turkey shirt looks so like the real one?
Yeah, it's impressive. They've obviously had a leak or had something.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
they've
there's
got
got
to
to be
have.
a reason that they've got that so spot on.
The thing that I wanted to say was somebody left a comment. I don't know if you've seen it. I was going to send it you, but then I thought we're doing this podcast and I didn't want you to see it before I mentioned it. Somebody said, isn't it weird that when Nick sped his voice up, he sounded like Ollie? And I replied and says, I'm going to bring this up on the podcast.
Yeah. I
I
will now
don't
speak
think that.
slang.
I don't believe that. I don't think that's the case. I just found it really funny.
Yeah, I think that's funny. But you know what? I do speak really fast sometimes. Like, I do know this. This is it's not a shock to me that maybe people think I speak quite quickly. So I can understand that.
Yeah, the reason why I talk quite slowly, I talk really fast in real life, but I talk slowly in this is because when you're presenting things, sometimes you just feel like you have to talk slowly to try and remember the next thing that you're going to say.
Yeah, I deliberately slow myself down on this. So, like,
Yeah.
if people think that I still sound like you sped up, and well, I suppose the other side of it is that maybe it's because your voice got squeakier, and therefore you sounded more like me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I in real life, if you get me in a certain environment, I will speak so fast that you have no idea what's coming out of my mouth.
Right, Ollie. Let's crack on. It's quiz time, mate. You know what time it is. It's quiz time.
Quiz time. Quiz.
And I apologise
I
first
did
and
that.
foremost.
I literally just went quiz.
Yeah, rock on quiz. I apologise. This is the worst quiz up to now. And the reason for it is 5 minutes before we went live, I was like, I need a quiz. I haven't got a quiz. I haven't put any effort into this. And I just remembered something. What I'm going to do is, and you're not looking at anything, hands up in the air yet. You've got nothing on another tab or anything like that, just chatting to me, yeah?
Well, I mean, I've got the tennis, but I don't know if that counts.
Whoa, that counts. That counts. Get it off.
Sorry.
No, I'm only joking. Hands down, that's fine. That's fine. So what I'm going to do in this quiz, I'm going to give you a squad number from last season, and you need to tell me whose number that was. You watched them all season, Oliver. I'm going to give you some easy ones. I'm going to give you some hard ones.
Oh, God.
And this is purely because I've done no research whatsoever.
Oh, this is the one I'm going to be worst at.
It's,
You're
yeah.
gonna ask me who was top scorer in December 2004 or something. Like, this is. I feel as though that would be a lot more in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Right.
Right, let's go. So, first one, an easy one. Number 18, Ollie.
Oh, you've started it with an easy one, and yes, still my immediate response is, ah,
This is a very easy one.
ah. Who's number 18? Oh, it's Wes. It's Wes.
It's Wes. It's
Wes.
Wes. Well done. Did your mind go blank then?
Yes. Could you not see on my face? My face
Well,
went.
I was going to say 1 to try and trick you because obviously Wes
I
isn't
would have got
1, it's
1.
Adam Davis. Yeah, that's why I
Yeah.
said 18 because then I thought he might not know what Wes's number is. Anyway, so
Just know it's
well
not
done.
number 1.
1 out of 1. Let's
1 out
crack
of
on
1.
to the next one now. We might as well go down in numerical order for the next one. Number 19.
Jackie.
Which one?
Old long throw.
Yeah, well done. Do you know what? You're doing better than I would be doing because I'd have got 18. I probably wouldn't have got 19.
I don't know why I got 19, but it's obviously in my brain. I have watched them 46 times, so in reality, I should be able to get these.
Do you know what? I'm probably going to give you more than 5 or 6 that I normally do just because it's so quick fire. I'm going to go for the next one, 20. Who's number 20, Ollie?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know who number 20 is. Is it one of the young lads?
It's one. I'll give you one hint. It isn't a young. Well, he is young, but it's not one of the young lads.
20?
Yes.
Wait, McAtee?
Is that your guess?
Yeah.
Wasn't McAtee.
No.
Jaden Bogle.
Jaden Bogle. He wears 20.
I know it's random, innit?
No,
I didn't know that.
you could have given me 10 guesses, and I don't think I'd have gone for Bogle.
No.
Because he was injured for so long, I forgot he existed, to be honest. That's part of the issue.
Yeah, that is true. He didn't play too many games. I think he played 1 really, really good game, maybe 2 decent games, but I think he was largely uneventful when he played as well, to be fair. But yeah, let's move on to the next one.
Come on.
Really difficult one now. He played 2 games, 1 in the Championship and 1 in the EFL Cup. Number 34. I've given you a big hint there.
Asula?
No. Kyron Gordon.
Kyron Gordon.
Didn't even play for us anymore.
Oh, of course he played. He played at Stoke, didn't he?
He did play at Stoke.
Yeah,
Yes, very well done. I'd forgotten that he played against Stoke.
Yeah, he played at Stoke. I knew. Yeah, I wouldn't have got it.
Next up, number 22.
So I've done 18, 19, 20. Number 22. Osborne's 23, isn't he? Is he?
Who is?
27?
Osborne. Yes, he is 23. Well done. I'm not going to ask you that one
23?
then. You should have kept that to yourself.
I should have done. It's because I'm going through who it can't be for number 22.
22 is actually quite an easy one, so that's a hint.
It's entertaining stuff, innit, watching me do this. Tommy Doyle.
Tommy Doyle! Well done. How did you work that out?
I went backwards through the team from the strikers and I didn't know his number and thought, well, it's got to be Tommy Doyle.
Because I said it were an easy one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, guys, you're going to see Ollie reacting to these really, really quickly because I'm editing out the 5 minutes that he sat there going.
Yeah,
So,
that one took me. 5 minutes is pushing it a bit far, but I've been taking probably 30 seconds of airtime where everyone's going, Jesus. I don't know why we watch these lads.
11.
Redicadra.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. That was a spanner in the works. 17.
17. Don't know
It is a hard
at
one.
all.
No.
I don't. I mean, when I don't know, I've already said McAtee once for one that I didn't know, so I might just go again.
Just keep going.
Just keep
The
going.
reason
One of them's going to be McAtee.
it's
I can't
got to
remember
be
what number he
eventually.
was.
But the
Yeah.
thing is, I'm not going to say that number, so you can keep saying
No, were he
McAtee.
28 or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. McAtee, he was 28.
17. So
The reason
yeah,
why
so
I know
McAtee was
this
28.
one is because 17 was my number playing football. I always loved the number 17 for whatever reason.
You
Jags
see.
had it in the past. Didsy had it for years. Didsy's back being number 17, by the way, playing for Notts County, which I quite enjoyed.
Nice. I quite like
But
that.
17 is
Norrington
not
Davis.
No, it's not. I think it's
Ah.
33. Yes, 33. Do you want to give it, yeah?
Yeah.
One last guess.
No.
Ismaila Koulibaly.
Oh, I wouldn't have got that in a million years.
Sorry,
Honestly, could have given me 20 guesses.
I'm not even
And
keeping.
all I remember of Koulibaly is that miss against Tottenham. I think that's what I remember of his season.
That was a shocker. That's almost on par with Connor Salmon, because
No.
not because of how easy it was, the shot, but just the technique was all kinds of wrong. Like, Connor
Yeah.
Salmon directed it in the wrong place. It wasn't that it was a bad strike on the ball. I don't know what happened with his feet. His feet just went all like a deer.
It was during that period as well, where in every FA Cup game, McAtee ran through on goal 1-on-1 and then missed. And he did it both times against Wrexham, and then Koulibaly did it against Spurs, and you kind of were like, geez, how are we getting through here?
That was so bad. He like sliced it with his wrong
Yeah,
foot.
it
It's
was a
like, you
shocker.
either get it onto your right foot early, or to be fair, he probably just did have a go with his left foot.
He had a go.
He did.
Fair play. He actually played all right in those cup games as well, so we shouldn't slag him off too much. I thought he was a pretty good player, but that was the overarching memory, sadly. Definitely. I didn't see the number 17 on his back because I was too busy going.
It's true. Hands over eyes. I'm going to ask you probably two more, and then we'll move on.
Two more.
Number 13.
I know that.
Yeah, it's quite an easy one.
It is. I know that.
He only played 31 games last season.
I know that. I know who this is.
You've got 10 seconds.
Max Lowe.
Yes, there we go. And let's finish on a high and go with number 36. Number 36.
Dan Jefferson.
Yes, there we go. Good man. Do you know what, mate? I'd have probably got 2 or 3 out of those, and you got, I would say, 80% of those.
I got well, maybe more like 50, but I'll take it.
No, I think maybe 75, 60, 75, something like that. Maybe 25, 10%, something like that. One of the numbers.
Kind of percent. Yeah. There were a number between 0 and 100, and you got that many percent right.
Exactly. Sorry about that. It wasn't a great quiz. It's all my fault.
Enjoyed it.
We've been very busy, though, because loads and loads of videos are going out at the moment because of transfers and stuff like that. So Hal has recorded a transfer video for everyone, pretty much. So I'm currently editing every video as we speak. So, yeah, it's a bit of a nightmare. Anyway, so yeah, that's the reason why I did absolutely no research into a quiz. Now, talking about new signings, Slim Arnie, how much did you know about him before we signed him?
Nada. I knew very little about him. Obviously, we've seen a little bit of him for those people who were watching World Cup and things like that, who might have seen him just a little bit. I knew roughly anything that had been written on Twitter about him being big and able to run.
Let's be honest, right? Tunisian players, who's watching Tunisia and thinking, oh, that central midfielder's tasty?
I know.
I can't really think of any Tunisian players right now. I was going to say Hakimi, but he's Moroccan. I'm just thinking of the
Moroccan.
flags, thinking of red flags.
The
Uh,
amount of time, honestly, the amount of times that I don't know why. I think it's because the flags are similar, but the amount of times that I've thought, oh yeah, he's Moroccan. He played for Morocco. They had a great World Cup. Nope, no, he's not. He's Tunisian. Didn't have a great World Cup, but still,
he might have had a good World Cup. I
he was
don't
all
know,
right.
to
I
be honest.
think.
Yeah.
To be honest, I spoke on this, and I've spoke on this really confidently to lots of people, and I keep saying, oh, he had a pretty decent World Cup. You know, he didn't. I'm not saying he was a massive standout, but he was all right. And then every single time I say that sentence, my head then goes, did Tunisia even qualify? Like, have I made this up? Is this a thing? And so I'm going through it now, and even now, like looking at you, this is months later from me having this conversation so many times, and I still don't know if he was actually at the World Cup or if I've invented it to give myself a story that I understand who the player is.
No, he was. He
He
definitely
was.
was.
They definitely
Yeah.
did because they played Denmark at some point
Yes.
when I think Denmark got knocked out. And so he definitely did go to the World Cup, and I can rest easy knowing I'm not just inventing things.
No, 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 no. Too right, too right. Yeah, I knew nothing about him either until Hal did his video, and yeah, I learned a lot. To be honest,
Yeah,
Hal, I used to have to do these videos before I brought you and Hal on board, and I remember one that was terrible. If anyone wants to have a laugh, go back and watch me talk about Wes Foderingham signing for the Blades, because all I did was bring up Wikipedia and just talked through the clubs that he played
nice.
for. And the only bit of kind of reference point that I brought out was the fact that he let in so many goals against Sheff United in that amazing um, playoff semi-final in League One. I don't really remember him making many saves either, but I just talked through his Wikipedia and I'm like, right, that was the last time I did that. I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. Let's do some proper research. But nowadays, Hal just does it, and I'm like, cool, that's fine,
Nailed it.
brilliant,
Thanks, Al.
and he does it really, really well as
He
well.
does. Yeah, he does. He always nails it. And I think it's always worth, like, anybody who wants to learn more about these players, it's definitely worth going away, looking for those videos and watching what Hal's got to say, because you really do pick up a lot about who they are, what the style is. And yeah, they're just the good videos, you know, not to blow our own trumpet, you know, most of our videos are crap, but those ones are quite good.
Oh dear. But yeah, Hal does a very, very good job with all these transfer videos. So when they're coming up, just keep watching them because you will learn a lot of things about these players that he's talking about. The only really, really bad one that he had was Robin Olsen, because he gave him a glowing reference, which we all thought he was going to be good, didn't we? Let's be honest.
Yeah, we did. We had high hopes and he let us down. But we have even better high hopes. And this is the one thing that I am going to pull Hal up on. Didn't call him star anise. And I really feel as though that's where we need to go with our new style. Again, back to the culinary. Any culinary fans? We need to be getting our star anise in central midfield. And see you later, ladies and gentlemen. That's me done.
He's done. He's done. He's gone.
Yeah, terrible joke. Doesn't make much sense. I'm gone.
Let's talk quickly about other signings as well, because we've got the left wing back coming in from France. I watched a couple of highlight videos and he looked fantastic, but at the same time, they always do. It looks like he's got a lot of pace to him as well. Looks like a very pacey wing back, which is always good to see. If you're not good at football, if you've got pace, you can cover that up a little bit.
I think it makes a big difference to this United squad as well. Because when you think about what we're missing and what we've actually got in spades, we have got a lot of really solid players. Our defence is built upon the fact that we are solid, we're capable of being resolute, and people can't get through us very easily. But what we don't have much of, I feel, especially going into a Premier League season, is pace to hit people on the counter. Now, that's something that Wilder tried to address in that final disastrous second transfer window when we got people like Ollie Burke and other players like that that had pace and nothing else. But Larouci has got a lot more to his game. I've been speaking to some of my friends who are Liverpool fans, and one of the things they've said is that, you know, coming through their youth when he's played for their under-21s, etc., he has looked like a decent prospect. He's somebody who they thought, yeah, he'll probably make a player. I don't think they ever thought he'd make a player for them, but that's a very, very high standard given where Liverpool have been while he's been in their academy. I think for me, it makes a lot of sense. We need somebody on that left-hand side. I think it's important that we do back that up. I think it probably means that Norrington Davis is going to be a left centre half when he comes back. I think it makes it clear that he's not going to be in contention for the left wing back role. And so that means we've got two there with Lowe and Larouche, and two left centre backs with Norrington Davis and Robinson. So we'll probably still be looking to add another one. But yeah, that does feel like a nice starter point for us to go into the season at.
Yeah, I think it's that, and also the fact that we're possibly not expecting to see Norrington Davis start the season as well, because he's not been anywhere near the squad, none of the squad photos. We won't talk too much more about kind of signings and stuff like that because we don't know. We need to do the research, or we need to watch Hal's video before we start talking about these players. But what I will finish on is the players have gone to Portugal. And they've just put all the pictures up of going to Portugal. Did you see what Ryan Brewster was carrying?
No, I didn't.
So Ryan Brewster, he's like, everybody else has got like rucksacks and bags and stuff like that. He's carrying his own suitcase onto the plane. It's like, what? Surely somebody else has got like going to do that for him. But then there was a logo on it that said Poga. It is a gaming system that's in a suitcase, which I've seen these a lot, but normal people with normal salaries can't really afford a gaming system in a suitcase. So I thought that was pretty cool and something that we could bring up because I don't think anyone really needs to take them anywhere with them either, do they?
No, I wouldn't have thought so. I suppose it depends what you're taking
if you're
to
a
Portugal.
footballer,
It means that when you get to Portugal, you can then have your gaming system with you, which probably isn't the worst idea in the world, to be honest. I take mine on holiday when we go, just because we are generally going to places that have really terrible like Wi-Fi, and like I want Netflix. It's my one thing is that I need Netflix. Wherever I go, I want to have Netflix, and so I take either my laptop or my PlayStation. So
what,
that
on
I've got
hotspot
Netflix.
Do you hotspot it?
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing I was going to say about them going to Portugal, ILIMAN NDIAYE is on the plane. It's like Ant and Dec when they do these Saturday
Night. I was just going to say, ILIMAN NDIAYE, you're on the plane.
He's on the plane.
It was the happiest minute of the week, to be fair, when I saw that he was on the plane.
Happiest minute of the week, yeah, absolutely. Actually, no. Happiest 30 seconds of the week, because the other 30 seconds, whoa. I don't know if you can hear that. Well, that is thunder.
Oh, God, that means it's coming my way. I mean,
yeah, it's throwing it down, and yours looks really bright over there.
I mean, it's not really, really bright, but the sun is relatively out. Oh, God. Yeah, I need to walk the dog. And I'm now sat here like, please, not yet, please.
Right, let's crack on then, shall we? No, I'm going to say the other 30 seconds that you enjoyed was him being pictured and playing against Chesterfield, because he needs to sign a new contract. Please, ILIMAN, you're definitely not watching this video right now, but if you are, please sign your contract. Like, we need you. Like, it's not about wanting you to stay. We need you to stay, mate. Just stay, and we might have a tiny little chance of staying up.
Yeah, exactly that. You know, football does move on. It moves in cycles. If ILIMAN NDIAYE does end up moving on, he moves on with all of our best wishes, I'm sure. He's been a fantastic player for us. It's been a pleasure to watch him. But we're desperate to want him to stay. And I'm just really sad that you made a really, really impassioned speech there, wanting ILIMAN NDIAYE to stay, telling him what the reasons were. And I completely undercut you in the background by doing this to the camera. as if that was going to be the thing that really convinced him.
Wow. Anyway, I think we should leave it there, because we've done 48 minutes up to now. This is probably going to get cut down to about 30, taking out all his rude jokes and him saying horrible things about ILIMAN NDIAYE, and now trying to bring it back by saying nice things now. It's just not on, mate.
It's a bit offensive, to be honest, that you out the system, because, you know, we have a process, Nick. You tell me you can be as abusive as you want. Oh, don't worry, I'll keep it out of the press. You can
Oh
say
dear.
what you like about anybody, all as long. Don't worry, I've got your back. And then you throw me under the bus again.
Oh dear. Yeah, let's leave it there. Thank you all for watching. We will try and be a little bit more prepared next week, or the week after, should I say. Yeah, so I've got to now go and edit this video as well as a million other videos, hopefully, because we are signing loads and loads of players. So Ollie, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you have a great week next week.
Yes, you too, mate. Hope you have a good one. I've fortunately got a few days off work, so I'm planning to just chill. I'm going to be very zen for the next few days. And then the next time we speak is going to have been after I've gone back to work, and you're going to get me in a really bad mood.
Okay,
Can't
in
wait.
that case, I'll send a load of video ideas across, and you can make a load of videos for the Sheff United way, so you feel a little less zen, because we don't like you being too comfortable on the Sheff United way.
No, that's always been our style. We've always thought, tell you what, if we can make Ollie just a little bit uncomfortable, I tell you what we'll do. We'll just randomly tell him like 12 hours beforehand that actually I can't do this video I've signed up to with a random person on the internet. Can you do it, please? And I'll go and do that.
Right, thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time.
See you guys.